Starting out your own business, whether big or small, can be a scary experience. You have all those questions unanswered, like do I really have a good business idea? Or will people like it? And most importantly, will I get a good return on my investment? Well then, to cut out all the guessing, may I propose a franchise? What is franchising? Which franchise do I choose? And how exactly do I become a franchisee? These questions and so much more will be answered in the country's first TV show on the franchise industry, Franchise TV. In our premiere episode, we sit down with the gurus of franchising and learn why success is guaranteed when you invest in a franchise. We also meet and greet the sponsors of the much-awaited Franchise Asia 2011. And finally, we discuss logistics and finance in our franchise support stories. Don't go anywhere because we got great franchising tips coming your way. My name's Isa Litton and this is Franchise TV. These brands have invaded our malls, from your favorite fried chicken to your favorite snack, even your must-have fashion finds. These are the fruits of a business model known as franchising. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is franchising? To answer that, we have no less than the chairman of the World Franchise Council, Mr. Sammy Lim. Sir, what's franchising?
Franchising is looking at a successful business and learning how to duplicate it, how to Xerox it, how to copy it. That's basically what franchising is. So it's making one store become 100 or 1,000 because you're able to duplicate it successfully.
So exponential growth.
Exponential growth, that's right. Basically, the key to franchising is the operations manual. It's the thick document, about 4 or 5 volumes, depending on whom you're buying the franchise from. It tells you everything from the lighting to the seating to the how many seconds goes into the cooking of the food, how big the cuts are, so forth and so on, down to the last detail. So it's a very detailed formula of how to make the business successful. So it's a transferring of the knowledge or the formula of how to make a business successful.
Aside from the franchising system, another key component of a franchise business is the relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee.
The franchisor's basic task is to make sure the franchisee succeeds, because his success is dependent on how much royalty percentage of the sales he can get. So if he doesn't sell anything, he doesn't get anything. So this is a partnership between the franchisor and the franchisee. So the franchise role is to get the franchise to be successful. The false franchisee is the person who collects upfront the franchise fee and doesn't do any support.
Yeah.
So that's what distinguishes the real franchisor from the fake franchisor. If you want to buy a franchise, you better make sure that it is a member of Philippine Franchise Association.
You are the founder of the Philippine Franchise Association. Could you please tell us more about it?
I'm a third-generation retailer, and we go to World Congress on retailing, and we found that franchising is the best way to grow your business. So we brought franchising into the Philippines about 16 years ago. So we started this Philippine Franchise Association. When we started, obviously, there are more foreign franchise. About 70-80% of them are, maybe even 90%. 100%? Yeah, I guess, yeah. 45, I guess they're all foreign. Now we're glad to say that only 30-40% are foreign. We have now about 70% local franchise. And we're in 3 sectors. We're in food, we're in fashion, and we're in services.
And that just goes to show that really franchising is booming in the Philippines, and
Definitely.
This is a good time to buy.
And it is also a tool for economic development. So it's the one that will contribute the most number of jobs and the one that will create business throughout the country. After 10 years of being with the Philippine Franchise Association and sharing all best practices with the rest of the world, we feel the Filipinos are ready to go abroad. Obviously, the number one is Jollibee. They're all over, going all over the world. We have a little concept, as small as a little kiosk of potato corner, a little kiosk that sells, potatoes. And of course, Max now is very aggressive with their promotion of going abroad.
Brands like Max's Restaurant that are truly Filipino are something that we can really be proud of because they are world-class. Hi, Robert. Please tell us the wonderful story behind Max's Fried Chicken.
Actually, I'm the third generation of owner-operators of Max. It was started by my grandmother and actually my great-granduncle. And this started in 1945, modest home wherein my great-granduncle befriended American GIs who lived near the restaurant, which was on Scout Plaza. And his name is Maximo, actually. But the Americans, since they couldn't say, let's go to Maximo's house, let's go to Max's house. And typical Filipino hospitality kicks in. You invite them, offer them some drinks. My grandmother comes out with some food. They keep coming back. They liked it. They said, you know, this is getting too much. We want to pay. So then they decided to turn it into a restaurant. That menu evolved because of my grandmother's passion for cooking. And this is where we are. Most of the dishes, the main dishes, are all hers. And that's why it's called Ruby's Favorites, because that's really her original recipes.
And now, how many branches do you have both here in the Philippines and abroad?
We've been operating since 1945. When we turned 50 years old, we had 50 stores and we were so proud.
All under you still?
All under
family.
company. Opened franchising in 1998. Now it's 2011 and we have now 129 stores. We have now 120 restaurants here in the Philippines. We have 9 international restaurants, 8 of which are in the United States. We have 1 in Toronto, Canada. So the growth was exponential through the franchise system. You will actually be able to grow your brand and grow it at a faster pace. And especially when you choose the right franchisee who has the same passion as you, they actually might do a better job than you, because when they go to provinces or areas wherein they're doing business, they have got such connections to the local community that they just do a better job. And that's why when it comes to areas outside of Metro Manila, we try to give it to a franchise as much as we can, because we know that they'll have their foot on the ground and they'll have their connections with the people. And then, guess what? They're going to call themselves, come to my restaurant. It's called Max, right? There's a big difference from come to Max's restaurant. I'm the manager from Manila and I don't speak the dialect.
So do you just grant franchising to anyone? I know you're very selective.
Definitely, we're very selective. It takes us time. Usually we're looking at about a year before we even are convinced that we want to be a partner with you.
So it's not even a matter of just giving you the money and saying,
No.
we have a great location.
No. We want to see that you've got the passion.
So you mentioned already the wonderful franchises you already have abroad. Is it being accepted or received well by foreigners?
Well, when we go to the outside of the Philippines, especially the US or Canada, we do actually use the Filipino community as our entry level, because they're the ones that know the brand and understand Filipino food. Because we're not just coming in as a restaurant chain, we're coming in promoting 3 things. Who we are, which is Max, a Filipino company with Filipino food. Those 3 things is we have to do, market ourselves 3 times more than any other brand. And that's the beauty when you use the Filipino community, because they understand you. They become your brand ambassadors. We're very, very excited. And we've been taken well in, especially for a first time, like we opened Toronto in January 2, 2011. During the height, there's a snowstorm, there was this and that. We had a long line outside of passionate Filipinos wanting to taste the Filipino food and Max's, since they've been there for a long time, so they kind of missed it. So
From the Philippines to North America to Dubai, yes, Max's restaurant is now open in the Middle East as well, thanks to their very effective franchising system.
once we do the first one right, we are confident that we will be able to deliver that Max's, their expectations on what Max is.
Well, here's to 3,000 franchises. Thank you.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
We started with 45 franchisors in the Philippines, and now we're over 1,000. We're probably one of the top 3 franchise countries in the world, and we're probably the most advanced franchising country in Asia.
With a franchise boom in the country, it comes as no surprise that the Philippines will be hosting one of the biggest international franchise events. Something big is happening in the Philippines this year. Please tell us about Franchise Asia.
Franchise Asia 2011 is the biggest 4-in-1 event. The first is we're going to have the international conventions. The first one is the Asia Pacific Franchise Confederation meeting, composed of 13 countries. On day 3, we have the World Franchise Council meeting, composed of 43 countries. Then we are going to have the conference, the 2-day conference, and we are bringing in, of course, the inspiration of all franchisors in the Philippines is Tony Tan Katyong, because when we bidded to bring Franchise Asia to the Philippines, they all said, "Oh, we want to meet the Jollibee guy." It's our pride and joy to present him. We will also have the EVP of 7-Eleven, and he's a Filipino, Chris Tanco. We will also have the president for International of Krispy Kreme.
Aside from the international conventions and conferences for the industry's movers and shakers, Franchise Asia 2011 will also have events geared towards the general public. These are the International Franchise Expo and various franchise seminars that could connect franchisors with potential franchisees.
The reason why we name it Franchise Asia is we'd like to take the lead of bringing Asian concept to the rest of the world, and the world franchise, meaning American European franchise, to Asia through the Philippines. So the key is we'd like to make the Philippines the hub or the headquarters of all the European and American franchise that would like to do business on this part of the world, Asia.
Proving that we can indeed be the hub for an international brand, the group behind Max's Restaurant franchised the popular American donut shop, Krispy Kreme.
We are very proud of Krispy Kreme Philippines because, as you know, because of the carbohydrates and the protein growth, Krispy Kreme sales in the US has gone down. But with the Philippines, they knew what to put in, and the other areas in Asia are following what the Philippines did. And Krispy Kreme Philippines has been awarded in other countries, and they will also be awarded in our Franchise Excellence Award.
Why is it such a big deal that the Philippines is hosting Franchise Asia?
For the Philippines to win the bid, it took also a lot of efforts on our part. This was my pitch. I told them this is Franchise Asia. The 21st century is Asian century. The growth would be in Asia. So I invited them, please take part of this growth by going to the Philippines, where we will have Franchise Asia. Who knows? You know, that's why now we have Europe, we have the US, Eastern Europe, Central America, South Africa. They're coming here because they know this will be the growth area.
We hope that come September,
Encouraged by the international support, local sponsors did not hesitate to get on board. To formalize the partnerships, Franchise Asia 2011 held a sponsors night at the headquarters of Max's Restaurant. And of course, the restaurant was one of the sponsors. Franchise Asia 2011 will be held at the SMX Convention Center from September 19 to 25. For more information, log on to www.franchiseasia2011.com.ph. If you're shopping around for a business venture, this is one event you won't want to miss. One major concern of a franchise business is logistics. On-time transport of goods from the franchisor to its franchisees is one of the challenges a franchisor needs to manage. Good thing there's V-Cargo, a one-stop shop for logistics for small and medium enterprises or SMEs.
It's a media launch for SME Logistics Solution. it's our campaign for the year and it's a major campaign for V-Cargo. Magiging kapartner na kami ngayon ng mga SMEs na hindi na sila ngayon matatakot na mag-expand, na mag-grow dahil merong specific na solution na pinoprovide namin para dun sa expansion. One, very integral part kasi ang logistics, any businesses, whether it's a micro business or it's a multinational business already. Pangalawa, there's always the question about costs and how to manage this operation, increasing operational expenses. So I think ito yung makakatulong. And third, yung coverage. Yung network kasi namin covers almost all key cities in the Philippines, and I think this one will help a budding entrepreneur, an existing entrepreneur to expand now, knowing that your logistics will now not be a problem for them.
What franchisors usually do is transport their goods via provincial buses or by renting trucks. But this does not guarantee that the products will arrive promptly and in good condition. That's why having V-Cargo as a logistics partner will definitely ease your worries. Crystal Clear, Lots of Pizza, Fior Gelato, Plato Wraps, and Peanut World have been trusting V-Cargo's logistics service for several years now.
Well, actually, you have to understand that logistics is the vein of a company. It's the blood vein. Everything that you do from operations to marketing is actually through your logistics. Very important din ang logistics because it will serve as the process flow of everything from your endpoint up to the point of the franchisee. So, kailangan makarating yung item doon on time, kailangan makarating ang item doon in good quality, and kailangan makarating doon na talagang kompleto. Okay, so logistics is also a very important aspect of our company, most especially for franchisors, because you have to understand that we guarantee the franchisees that whatever we promise is may deliver natin sa kanila. And that's the point of why we've partnered with V-Cargo.
Having a logistics partner helps us to concentrate on our core competency. And in Crystal Clear, we work on providing clear water to homes and offices nationwide. And aside from that, we are able to get more more franchisees on board. So it helps us to focus on really which is bottom line, sales talaga po.
Partnering with V-Cargo is very important kasi we were able to expand our business outside of Luzon. So parang wala ka ng problemang mag-expand kasi kahit saan pwede silang mag-deliver.
We've been partner from 2006, so it's around 5 years already. And then we are very happy with their services kasi sa time compliance, ganun, walang pumapalya. Very happy kami with them.
Take it from V-Cargo's satisfied kapartners. With V-Cargo, you can be sure that your logistics problems are over. If you want to have your own franchise but are running pretty low on funds, we got great news for you. I am with the BPI Family Savings Bank President, TG Limcauco. Hi, TG. So, TG, what is the BPI Family Ka-Negosyo Franchising Loan?
The BPI Family Bank Ka-Negosyo Franchising Loan is a special loan program we have at Family Savings Bank, which is geared for businessmen, entrepreneurs who want to start their own business by buying a franchise. Basically, we will lend for as low as 500,000 pesos and as for as short as 2 years for them to be able to start up their business by buying a franchise.
Wow, okay, that really helps a lot of people get the opportunity to actually start their own businesses. But here's the thing, I believe it's the first of its kind in the market. So what made you think of coming up with this particular loan?
Well, first, we believe that entrepreneurs are key to this country. The small business drives this country, and so we want to encourage that. But what we've realized is there's a lot of people who want to start their own business are really short of capital. They might have the drive to do it, and they might have some savings that gets them started, but obviously they want to harness the savings and put it, let's say, in the rent or the build out of the shop. And what they're missing is the franchise fee. So we are willing to lend even for them to fund that franchise fee.
And at the same time, you're watching out for their benefits because a lot of people may think, okay, I got the loan. But also at the same time, I'm going to be worried, how am I going to pay off this loan? That's why you actually have a light program?
We do have a light program. It's called Kanegosyo Franchise Light. And it's called light because they don't have to pay the principal back in the first 6 months, which means they only pay interest. And if you compare it to a typical loan, for example, if you were to borrow 500,000, which should get you a very good franchise today, your payment for the first 6 months is only 4,000 pesos, whereas the typical loan would be close to maybe 20,000 or 18,000 pesos a month for the first 6 months. Obviously, at the end of 6 months, you will pay a little more because you're paying the principal back. But what this allows the entrepreneur to do is to focus on building the business the first 6 months, which is the most important part of a business, your first 6 months.
So how is it different from your business loan then?
Well, one, obviously it's meant primarily to buy a franchise or to start up a business with a franchise. And so we have partnered with several franchisors who we have sort of said, yes, this business model really works. And so I think one that's very important for the entrepreneur, because we have looked at the business model and we say these franchises work quite well. Secondly, we also have a variant where they may not have to put up any collateral at all. So that will encourage a lot of people to get into business. So if you've got collateral, that's good. If you don't have collateral, that shouldn't discourage you from applying for this loan.
I love it because it's one trusted brand actually trusting the other brands out there, and again, giving opportunities to so many other people. Who can avail of this again?
Practically anyone who wants to go into business. We've got overseas Filipinos. We think they're key to the success of this country. We have parents who wish to get their kids started in business, successful professionals who want another line of business or another source of income, or maybe even today people who are successful in their own business who want to diversify and go into another line of business. The key here is finding the franchisor who works well with you and getting together with BPI Family Savings Bank to fund this idea.
Well, the fantastic thing is anyone can be a franchisee at this point because of the BPI Family Kanegosyo franchising loan.
Absolutely.
With that, thank you very, very much,
Thanks very
TG.
much, Lisa.
Wasn't that great? We've just laid down the groundwork for a whole season of great ideas and helpful tips on franchising. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more to come every Saturday, 9 p.m. here on ANC. Do tune in to Franchise TV. My name's Isa Litton, and I'll see you all next week.